How's it going? My name is quintonkuhn and I am from Idaho. I go to school in Seattle for music, and I've had the privilege to be here in Vienna for study abroad in the IES music program. But without further ado, it's week 7 and I have one more week left in Vienna. Let's get started. I can't believe it's already over. It was such a fast 6 weeks here at IES. All the teachers were just amazing. The people in a part of the program were just incredible people. So I am so thankful to be a part of this program, and I really hope to stay close with everybody. But let's get started. Monday was pretty chill. I had my first listening quiz for my music history. I aced it, let's go. But for the most part, it was just getting ready for the big exam on Wednesday and Thursday. Oh yeah, an update, my hand is feeling a lot better. I think it was a lack of hydration. And to be honest, I have been drinking lots of water, but with how hot it was for the past like 10 days, I should have been drinking even more. And then it was also a mixture of just playing a lot, and just violin is such an awkward position to be in. It's so abnormal. My hand is feeling a lot better. I actually don't have a violin now because I just returned it to the violin shop. That will force me to rest. But with that being said, let's move on to what I did on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, I had my German class, and then I had my music history class. And it was pretty fun. We were basically doing a lecture for an hour in the music history class, and then we went to an exhibition where we just talked about all of these composers who aren't really known. The researchers found different letters and different scores that were misplaced during the World War and when people were just moving around. So it was quite cool to see original like paper manuscripts and even really cool paintings of composers. So that was really cool. We also saw this really cool piano. I will do some research. It was played by a composer and they had the original piano. So it was pretty cool. Let's move on to Wednesday. For today, I started with a German oral exam. It went pretty good. There was one question where I didn't really know what she was saying. So she said it slower and then I finally got it. Other than that, I think I did pretty good, but we'll see. Depending on the time that this gets posted, when I receive my grade, I'll let you guys know how I did. Then moving forward, today was a big day. It was a concert day. And it's wild that we put this whole 2-hour set list. We put it together in like 5 weeks, so it was quite impressive. And if you want to go see the full concert, it's in the link down below. And then after the concert, I headed back and there was this pistachio chocolate that one of the coaches gave to us, and it was just very thoughtful. And then for Thursday, I had my 2 big exams, one in my German class and then one in my music history class. I think for the most part, I did pretty good, but we'll see what the grade says. Moving forward, I had my last music history class as well as my last German class, but it was very bittersweet. This is like the last time I get to see my professors. I grew pretty close to them and we had pretty close connections. They're just very nice. And in my music history class, we went to Stadtpark, I think it was called Karlsplatz. I think it was like Karlsplatz Park. There were a lot of monuments there that had famous composers like Johann Strauss, Bruckner, and other composers. Earlier in the week, the professor had a plan to go to Prater where they hosted like a picnic where the Vienna Symphony was gonna play. And it was just phenomenal. But yeah, the fact that we got to see Vienna Symphony in Prater, experienced it as like a picnic. But here, let me just show you a quick 45-second montage of what I saw.
Allein das Uhrenticket. Se non bevuto ancora
So Friday, honestly, when I got here in Vienna, I wanted to run a half marathon while I was here. It wasn't an official half marathon. It was just something that I put together by myself, but it was a lot of fun. It was hard. I actually ended up running 14.42 miles instead of the typical 13.1. And I did it intentionally because it would get me to 500 miles from the start of the year. It was like 2 milestones. I got to run a half marathon, and then I also got to 500 miles. I'm really tired from the half marathon from yesterday, but I'm gonna try to get to that 20-mile benchmark tonight. So I can say I've ran 20 miles in 22 weeks in a row. So moving forward, I got back around 11:50, and I had basically about 25 minutes to get ready to go to a farewell party that IES was hosting. So I got ready really quickly. My body was so sore. I really had no plans today other than the farewell party. But then after the farewell party, I decided to hang out with some friends. At the farewell party, it was really cool. There was a buffet style. There was schnitzel, there was meatloaf, there was other types of food. They also provided dessert. There's Apfelstrudel, some other type of dessert. I'm not sure what it was. I went to go hang out with friends. It was actually a really full day. So one of my friends is a correspondent like me who posts on behalf of IES, advertise of what an experience would look like from a student perspective. And then my other friend is a vlogger. So there was a moment where I was recording my friend recording those two people, and it was quite hilarious. But yeah, afterwards we went to a sheet music store, and that was really cool just to see so much repertoire in one place. I think this was my first time ever going to a sheet music store where they just have sheet music and nothing else. They didn't really have any instruments. They had a baton. We probably spent an hour there. Then we departed, and then we met back to climb 343 stairs at Stephen's Dome, or St. Stephen's Cathedral. I mean, I'm glad I did it, but I shouldn't have done that after running a half marathon. As of today's Saturday right now. Honestly, my whole body is aching right now. We got this really good dessert. I will put it how you pronounce it on the screen. I think it's Karlsharm or something like that. I had it earlier for my scavenger hunt. I believe that was 2 weeks ago. So if you want to go check that out, it's here. So after that, I headed back and I went to sleep. And then today, Saturday, is the last official day that I will be staying in the room that I've been staying in for the past 6 weeks. And I knew that it would be so fast, but oh my gosh, it was so fast. I'm just so grateful for everyone that I've interacted with and grew close with. And I just want to give a huge shout out to all the professors, all the admin. It was such a well put together program. Even though it was only 6 weeks long, I got such a full experience out of it. I just want to say thank you so much to IES. But with that being said, I'm gonna end the vlog here. We have one more week in Vienna, so I'm gonna try to make the most out of it. But I appreciate you watching, and if you made it this far, comment below what your favorite type of Austrian dish is. I don't know. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a good one, and stay sharp.